Hey there, everybody. This is Mr. Neely. If you don't know me, you're not in my class. Nice to meet you. I teach AP Language and English 3. I'm also a soccer coach here at Bryan Station. I'm also kind of a nerd, so you'll see me with a headset here, looking at the webcam, making you this video so that you can be a master at grammar by the end of the semester and by the end of this year. All right, so this is the way this is normally going to work. You're going to have a grammar lesson here online that I'm going to give you, or Miss Warren or Miss Van Adder will give you a lesson online that they've recorded for you. You're going to watch that lesson at home on your electronic device on YouTube, right? You can access it anywhere as long as you have internet. You're going to access that lesson and then come back the next day and we'll do some work with whatever you're working on. So today, as you can see here, if you look at this first screen, you're going to be working on nouns, pronouns, and antecedents. All right, so next class work, you're going to come in and do a little bit of work. It could be online, noreading.com. It could be on paper with a writing assignment. There could be multiple ways that you could practice this writing, but this is just one way to help you out. You can also access these lessons anytime. So if you need extra help, it's here for you right now. Take a look at it. All right. We'll have the lessons posted as we make them, so they should be available to you as soon as possible. Now, let's go ahead and get started. So, grammar, guys. Grammar is not anybody's favorite subject, but it's one of the most important things in AP language. This is called AP language for a reason. We're going to study grammar, right? Lots of us haven't been taught grammar, so we're going to look at grammar through these lessons, all right? Now, one thing you'll notice about me, you can point these out to me whenever you come back in class, is that I don't always have perfect grammar, all right? Nobody has perfect grammar. I'm also not a grammar snob, but if we understand grammar, we can utilize that grammar in our lessons and in our writing, and we'll be able to, become better writers because we have better grammar. All right, so let's dive on in. So first up, let's take a look at this screen here. It says we've got nouns, pronouns, and antecedents. This is kind of our building blocks, our bones of diction, which is our word choice. So a noun is a person, place, thing. It could be concrete or intangible. Concrete means it's something that we can touch. So whatever you're sitting on right now, or if you're standing, that ground, that is a concrete noun. Or it could be intangible, meaning you understand the idea of it, but you can't touch it, right? Like a big idea, like imagination, would be an intangible noun. You also have pronouns. These are stand-ins for nouns. So let's say your noun got tired and you wanted to stand in. That would be a pronoun. Now you have lots of different types of pronouns: personal pronouns, demonstrative, relative, indefinite, interrogative, expletive, reflexive. We're not going to require you to know these different types of pronouns. That's not the point. What we do want you to understand is that your pronouns must agree with your nouns. That noun that agrees with, that the pronoun stands in for, we call that the antecedent. Notice here, the prefix ante means before. So this is the noun that comes before the pronoun. That's why it's called the antecedent. Now let's take a look at some examples, some exercises that you may see in class. So first off, you're going to be able to identify a proper noun versus a common noun. Now, a proper noun is something specific, more specific than a common noun. So for example, you've got this sentence, Kiana is hilarious. Kiana is hilarious. Kiana here is a proper noun. If you take a look at the difference between common nouns and proper nouns, we've got woman, city, soda, religion, all vague, non-specific. There's a time and place for that. You also have proper nouns. Proper nouns are more specific forms of these common nouns. So Dr. Jordan Lewis, Chicago, Pepsi, Christianity. Also notice how they all have capital letters to begin the word. So Kiana. Kiana is a name. It's a specific person. So it's the same category here as Dr. Jordan Lewis. All right. Next, you have common nouns. So take a look at the sentence. Mason's green sweater is in the laundry. Common nouns name unspecific people, places, things, or ideas. And again, proper nouns name specific nouns. All right, so if we're looking at these categories in a little bigger view here, we've got Mason's green sweater. Sweater is a thing. It's vague, right? So it's going to go in common nouns under things. Using pronouns. We need to use pronouns to avoid repetition. So pronouns take the place of nouns or other pronouns and help us to avoid that repetition. You wouldn't want to say something like, Mr. Neely likes English class because Mr. Neely is an English teacher. Mr. Neely is an English teacher because Mr. Neely is a nerd. No, you could say Mr. Neely likes English class because he is an English teacher and he is a nerd, right? Same thing here. Dave was so hungry, Dave baked a pie. That's repetitive. We'd say Dave was so hungry, he baked a pie. You're also going to want to be able to identify the antecedent. So Christina is afraid that she will be late to softball practice. Take a look at these examples. Kiana is hungry, but she can't decide where to eat. I'm very close with Dr. Cheng, but it's been months since I last saw him. The barber can't find his shaving cream. In each of these cases, even though these are different types of pronouns, again, I said we're not going to worry about the types. They need to agree with the nouns, right? So this is, Kiana is the antecedent of she. Dr. Cheng is the antecedent of him. The barber, the antecedent of his, right? Those pronouns stand in for the noun. Your pronouns must also agree or match. We call it agreement in AP language. They must agree with the noun they replace. So take a look at this first sentence here. If anyone has a food allergy, she should tell Dave. This is kind of tricky, but anyone here is considered a singular pronoun. So I think about it as any single one person, any one, that's singular. Singular is one. It needs to match with a singular pronoun. So singular, like she, he, it, would all work. All right? Look at some of these. If the students have a good idea, they should share it. The students are plural. There is more than one. Plural means there is more than one. They should share it. If anyone has a good idea, they should share it. This does not agree because remember, anyone is singular and they would be more than one, plural, so they do not agree. This is a very common ACT type question. They'll get you on this. If anybody has a good idea, they should share it. This one used to always trip me up. Anybody is the same as saying any single buddy, any one body, right? Anyone has a good idea. He or she should share it. All right? You have singular pronouns here, plural pronouns here. Make sure we know the difference between the two. Don't need to memorize those, let's just know the difference. Now, indefinite pronouns. Take a look at that sentence. Christina is afraid that she will be late to softball practice. Pronouns take the place of these nouns, but what's key here is that you need to make sure that if it's a girl, it's she. If it's a guy, it's him or his. The barber is normally a he, it would be his. If it's indefinite, you would say he or she. All right? And so that's the end of grammar lesson A. We'll see you in class soon.